Origami Yoda and the Home Run by Mike. Origami Yoda changed my life. I mean, how long has it been that playing softball in PE has been driving me insane? It's been a long time, since we started playing wiffle ball in first grade. All I've ever wanted was to just hit the dog and ball, man. But it's always strike out, and with the occasional little bloop that would go straight to the jerk pitcher, who would throw it to the jerk at first base for an easy out. I may as well admit how I would cry afterwards, because everyone in school already knows that anyways, but there's a difference between boo-hoo tears and the tears I get, which are because I'm so angry. At least I think there's a difference. Nobody else seems to think so. I just keep thinking that if I could get a hit, maybe even a home run, I would be a hero and everyone would forget that the strikeouts and the crying. But here's what happened instead. This will be the one I say to myself. I'll show them. I'll blast it down their throats. And then I swing and miss. Then I swing and miss again. And get even madder when I look out and see how they're all just waiting for me to strike out. They're so sure they know every freaking thing about softball. At this point, I know that I'm so angry that if I hit the ball, I will knock it a mile. Then I miss a third time, and that's when I get so angry that I cry. That wasn't that big a deal in the first grade, but it is now a really big deal. Everyone knows me as the kid who cries during PE, and that's not good. So when I saw Dwight's Yoda puppet save Tommy at the dance, well, Dwight's a nut, but I figured maybe he had tapped into the Force or something. I totally believe in the Force and have spent a lot of time trying to focus my mind so that I can tap into it too. So one day at lunch, I went over to where Dwight was sitting with Tommy and those guys and said, "Yoda, can you tell me how to use the Force to hit the home run?" "You wish home run to hit why?" asked Yoda. "Well, I mean, I want to win, right? That's why you play a game, isn't it?" Yoda didn't say anything, but he was looking at me with his two tiny little eyes. I mean, I want to be a hero for once, right? I said I'm tired of always striking out. Yoda still just looked at me. I mean, then they hardly even pay attention when I get my turn, and they all think they're so great because they hit the ball or because they can catch it when it comes to them. They're always shouting stuff at me, bossing me around. I'm sick of it. Yoda still just looked at me. I looked around at Tommy and Kellen and the others. I mean, you guys feel the same way, right? You're tired of tater tots and those other jocks always winning too, right? I'd love to show them they aren't better than me. "Better than you, they are," said Yoda. Everyone started laughing. "Hey, shut up," I shouted. "You're a jerk, Dwight. All of you." And I left. Man, I was really mad. Tears were starting. But then I realized Dwight had followed me back to my table. "Yoda's not finished, Mike," said Dwight. "Leave me alone," I said. The last thing I needed was for everyone to look over here and see me crying again. But Yoda spoke anyways. "Let go of your feelings, Mike. Hate and revenge to the dark side only lead." Then Dwight walked away. So, when it was time for PE, I was stuck in my usual position with no help from Origami Yoda at all, or at least it seemed like that. I'm always last, so I didn't get up to bat until near the end of the second inning. It's crazy because as much as I hate softball and hate to bat, I also can't wait until it's my turn. So I stood there with the bat and suddenly remembered that Yoda said about letting go of my feelings. Maybe if I could clear my brain of thinking about how much I hate softball, tater tot, the pitcher, the whole other team, and Miss Toner, then the dark side of the Force would go away and the good side of the Force would help me hit the ball the same way it helped Luke blow up the Death Star. The ball whizzed past me. I didn't even have time to swing. "Strike one," said Miss Toner, our PE teacher, who is the umpire. I tried not to be mad. Even if I had swung, I probably would have missed and gotten a strike anyways. Another ball went by. "Ball one," said Miss Toner. "Nothing to be mad about there. That's the first time I've ever gotten a ball. Normally, I always swing at everything because I'm so worked up. The next pitch was way too high. I usually swing at those. This time, I just stood there. Ball two. Maybe I'll just get walked, I thought. So I let the next pitch go by, too. Strike two. That wasn't working. I knew I needed to try to actually hit the ball. When the next pitcher came, a tiny voice in my head seemed to say, "Swing." Was it Yoda's voice? So I swung. "Strike three," said Miss Toner. "Good try, Mike." I walked back to the bench trying to figure out what had happened. Had I misunderstood Yoda? Was Dwight just full of crap? Was his Yoda puppet just some kind of pointless joke? I went up to Dwight and said, "Well?" And Yoda said, "Cry, you did not." He was right. I hadn't cried. I hadn't even thrown the batting helmet on the ground. I hadn't made a fool of myself for once. Just then, Tater Tot came up to the bat and smashed the ball a long, long way. Another home run. Yes, I realized Yoda was right. Guys like Tater Tot really are better than me at softball, that is. So why hate him, and why cry about it? Since that day, I'm still striking out mostly, but I always get walked some too. But none of that really matters. The important thing is I'm not crying about it or even getting mad about it. And now that I'm spending less of my time hating people like Tater Tot, I think I'm getting closer to using the Force myself. At least I'm not going to the dark side anymore. Harvey's comment. I thought Mike asked Paperwad Yoda to help him hit a home run. If all he wanted to do was walk a few times, I could have told him how to do that. Most of these kids can't pitch at all, so if you just stand there and wait, you'll get walked. It doesn't take Yoda to figure that out. I am glad Mike stopped crying, though, because that was getting old. My comment. As usual, Harvey totally missed the point. Yoda's point was that there are more important things than home runs, which is good news to me because I've never hit one either.